Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, oh, I'm a bit today. Okay, how you going? Out to lunch? Deb, Alex, Carl, Lisette, Shannon. How you going, guys? Good to see yous. Okay, I'm sorry if you can hear background noise. People next door have decided to chop some trees. Yeah, so sorry about that. What was the other thing I had to say before I started? Oh, yes, everyone mentioned is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I mentioned today is theory until proven otherwise. I didn't get any snow, Deb. I'm so disappointed. Like, it did flake for a little bit at night, like, you know, but it was only like a minute. Yeah, great. I don't know what's happened to the snow. Every time it hits the mountain, it seems to dissipate. And I believe that's because of the radar that they've got at the top of the mountain. That's just my thoughts, my conspiracy theory. Okay. Yeah, it went around me, Deb. It literally went around me. It breaks up as it nears the radar. So I don't know what kind of radar they're using there, but it's very interesting. Okay, oh no, the other thing was also, thank you guys. My wood is here. I've got plenty of wood and I've paid a water bill. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. That's excellent help. And I realise that I probably do earn the money because I have to go through Twitter or X or whatever it's called, right? And I clicked on something, it was trending, it was, oops. Okay, that was so I thought, what's this? And I clicked on it, And I was going through different posts and I came across one that I just nearly vomited on, okay? It was an X-rated video. You don't want to know. You just don't. I can't even say it on here. It was that disgust. Oh, I can't even think about it. No, okay, let's get in the news. Don't worry about that. Dr. Russell McGregor said BB had submitted to President Trump long ago. Enjoy the show. And this, oh my goodness. Okay, let me just try and do this without forking up a bit. Doc Malik. Let the mice squeal and scurry, let them scatter and squeal, let the trolls drop their venom, none of it's real. Let the fools flap their nonsense, let cowards pretend. We don't break, we don't bend, we transcend in the end. Let the haters keep hating, let the bots run their scripts, let the weak chase approval from digital lips. Let the smug sip their virtue with a smirk and a shrug. We sip truth from the source and give fear a firm tug. Let the press print their poison, let the headlines mislead. Let the influencers pander to power and to greed. Let them cancel, distort and attack with a grin. We don't ask for permission, we were born not to not fit in. Let them twist every word, let them shame and deflect, let them gaslight and slander and feign self-respect. Let them posture and pout from their comfy elite. We've got boots on the ground and steel in our beat. Then comes the 77th, masked and online, waging war on their people, a treacherous sign. They spread lies in the name of protecting the land while silencing truth with a bureaucrat's hand. They troll from the shadows, they twist and deceive, but we see through the fog and will never believe. Let the circus continue, let the jesters perform, let the weather apps scream of a climate reform. Let the experts appear with their graphs and their frowns, while the cities collapse and the countryside drowns. Let the system keep glitching, let control keep tightening. We've weathered worse storms and our souls keep brightening. We're not here for applause, we're not craving a stage, we're just burning through lies with righteous old rage. Let them mock, let them shout, let them bluster and buff. We've got truth in our bones and that's more than enough. So while cowards keep clucking and the tyrants are fuckers, let's keep rolling on like Canadian freedom truckers. Oh, dear. Yeah, exactly, Alex. I don't know how they even allow that on Twitter. And it was so disgusting. It's something I have never seen before and don't ever want to see again, and I can't unsee it. I better not think about it. No, really, I'm going to throw up if I do. Francie Nancy, okay, said Australia's e-safety censorship commissar thinks she can fool parents by changing the language. Hey, stupid Australians, it's not a ban, it's just like a delay. The government is here to parent your children for you, just like water safety, they provide the flag, swimming lessons, etc. But hang on, do they ban them from going in the water? No, it's a ridiculous analogy. Listen to this BS, appeal to emotion. That's what this is, and this is why I wanted to put this on here to show you exactly how they fool people and appeal to emotion. Let's have a look.
As the e-safety commissioner, but also as a parent, I see how the risks of early exposure to social media are becoming clearer. Legislation coming into effect by mid-December will require certain social media services to take reasonable steps to prevent under 16s from having social media accounts.
Do you see that emotional appeal? Do you see that it's so fake? Oh my God.
And here's what parents need to know right now. 1, it's not a ban, it's a delay. We're giving kids a reprieve and more time to build up those online swimming skills before facing the pressures and dark forces of social media. 2, the responsibility lies with the platforms. There will be no penalties for...
No, it doesn't. It's on the parents, I'm sorry. But it is.
Underage children who access social media or for their parents and carers. And 3, you're not alone. E-safety is tantamount to the online lifeguard that you need. And we've got the flags, the swimming lessons, and the safety tips required to help you support your kids. So go to esafety.gov.au to learn more.
Dear God. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Oz Integrity said once you see it, it can't be unseen. Okay, there's the e-safety commissar. And here is Susan Ley, the leader of the Liberal Party, okay? And Meshi said there's also the MI6 link, I think that they're meant. Lay's father was an MI6 intelligence officer and e-safety as part of a shady network that includes MI6. Well, she's also suspected to be CIA. Oz Integrity says, so we have CIA and MI6 above. Okay, that's what we got. The authoritarians are taking over Australia. Okay. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. The unelected corrupt top warmonger, Ursula von der Leyen, speaks of war in Europe. She's trying to say the Russians are going to bomb you, right? That's what she's trying to say. And I'll just play a little bit of it.
Of a full-scale war right here on European soil. And just like your industry, all of Europe is facing a changing international landscape. But in recent months, Europe has taken action. Action that seemed unthinkable just a year ago. We set up the Rearm Europe plan to mobilize indeed 650 billion euros in defense investment over the next 4 years. We must build more bridges between civilian and military. We know that Russia will be capable of testing our mutual defense commitments.
Russia aren't going at you, you insane woman. Okay, concerned citizens said EU tyrant chief, Ursula von der Leyen, come out against Hungary after Budapest banned the Marxist Pride Movement parade. Okay, so that's what she stands for. I guess they didn't want young children to see grown men dressed in latex as dogs performing and simulating sex acts on the streets. Yep, see? She's gone after Hungary now. Cillian said, breaking, Viktor Orban has told Ursula von der Leyen to refrain from interfering in the law enforcement affairs of Hungary after she condemned the decision to ban Budapest Pride this year. He urged her to focus on the pressing challenges facing the EU instead. Yeah, look at your own country, love. Hey, Menacing Muskrat, how you going? Leon Carter, Starmer must go, Starmer out, which was trending. I believe in nothing, I stand for nothing, I have no integrity, I have no principles. That's correct. Look, this guy, Starmer, you've got Carney in Canada and Albo in Australia. They are nothing but talking heads. There's people with their hands up their ass behind them, believe me. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Just reminds me of what I've seen on Twitter. Jesus Christ. Archie said that's what happens when you turn against your own people. Oh look, Starmer's left out in the cold. World leaders gather. Trump's here with these three and Starmer's just standing there. He couldn't have been more awkward if he tried. Jay Merce, the head of NATO, just called President Trump Daddy. Daddy sometimes has to use strong language. They're calling him Daddy now. I meme, therefore I am, said, whoops. See, this is what, don't search for things like this, seriously. There were some good posts in there, but yeah, no, it got to the point where Jesus Christ almighty, help me. Ooh, I did not need to see that. Anyway, whoops. Matt Slater said, AOC, if you're a BX girl, then why are you in my Yorktown yearbook? Give it up already. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, occasional Cortex, said also, I'm a Bronx girl. You should know that we can eat Queen's boys for breakfast, respectfully. Well, apparently she was in Yorktown yearbook. Okay, let's not worry about that. Carl Benjamin said America has its very own Sadiq Khan. Global Eye News. Muslim socialist Zohran Mamdani wins New York City Democrat mayoral primary. Oh, dear God. Don't let it happen, guys. Has he got in yet? I don't know. Okay, this is a big theory one, Ariel. How do people not notice that Matt Gaetz voted against 5 different bills proposed by Donald Trump? People, do you not realise M. Gaetz was set up by D. Trump to fall when he chose him for Attorney General? He only did that to remove him from Congress. Why wouldn't he? Look at what Matt Gaetz was doing. He had to go. Matt Gaetz, Libertarian. Thomas Massie, Libertarian. Rand Paul, Libertarian. Have you noticed these men are always voting against Donald Trump? Did you know all 3 of them have the P word in common? Shh, you'll get it later. I got it. Pedo? Really? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Believe what you want to believe. I'm not telling you what to believe. Wall Street Ape said new campaign ad for New York Rep. Oh, God. So ran, I can't say his name, Mamdani's governor race. I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare as a progressive Muslim immigrant. America will become the EU if this insanity is not stopped immediately. Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. Oh, dear God. Okay.
I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare as a progressive Muslim immigrant who actually fights for the things that I believe in. And the difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C. I don't have to pick up the phone from Bill Ackman or Ken Langone. I have to pick up the phone for the more than 20,000 New Yorkers who contributed an average donation of about $80 to break fundraising records and put our campaign in second place.
I am the person on this stage who represents the working men and women.
I am Donald Trump's...
Okay, if you vote for this guy, you're voting for Sharia law. Or Sharia law. Sharia or Sharia. Oh, dear God. Insurrection Barbie said you don't have to swear allegiance to Donald Trump, but you do have to swear allegiance to the truth. You can have whatever opinions you want, but when you sacrifice objective truth at the altar to push those opinions, you are no different than the people you claim to fight. And I, for one, will never be able to forget who did that. They're talking about the big influencers, you know. Okay, let me see if I can get this one right as well. This is from Laverne Spicer. Dear Jasmine Crockett, what the fuck do you mean you're supposed to be the one who to decide whether we bomb Iran or not? You ain't the MFer and the President Witch. Ain't nobody voted for your skank asshole. President Trump ain't the mofo that resides in the White House. Donald Trump is the democratically elected president of the USA, and it's his decision how to protect the American people. Oh, you done got too far ahead of yourself now. I know they're telling your black ass what to say. This lady must be black, is she? What to say, and they're telling you can't nobody do nothing about it. But girl, your mama sure must be ashamed right now because you're making black women look awful. You're making us look like we don't respect the presidency. You're making us look like we're selfish. You're making us look like we don't give a F until it's us in charge. I ain't like that, witch. Why the F? You'll even have elections if this is how you're all going to act when you lose. Oh, you don't like it here? Go on back to Africa and be a Congress bitch over there. See how much mouth you got over there. Wow. Okay, I couldn't do it. I still sound too Australian. Oh, dear. Matt Goodwin said exclusive, 81% of Brits support deporting foreign criminals, only 6% oppose. There you go. Go the UK. Rise up. Clandestine said, holy shit. It's happening. Trump envoy Steve Witkoff teases big announcement that new nations will soon be signing onto the Abraham Accords, including nations we never would have contemplated. Trump is about to secure peace in the Middle East. Let's have a look.
One of the president's key objectives is that the Abraham Accords be expanded, that more countries come into it, and we are working on that on my team and in coordination with the Secretary of State and the entire State Department. And we think we're going to have some pretty big announcements on countries that are now coming into the Abraham Peace Accords. And we're hoping for normalization across an array of countries that maybe people would have never contemplated would come in. So we're excited for that prospect. That will also be a stabilizer in the Middle East.
He did the same slip I did. I nearly said complicated. No, maybe not. I don't know. Go back and have a look yourself. You can tell me what I said. Nanli Marie Karasimi said, excellent question, Chantel. Why are China and Russia so quiet? Iran's about to arrive at a stark realisation about who their friends really are. Watch this Fine Point OAN episode from Amazing Chanel Rayon. Have a listen.
My money's backing on the fact that this ceasefire will likely stay put because Trump probably threatened Netanyahu that now we've eliminated the Iranian threat, the U.S. will pull all support from Israel if they act in kind like children and refuse to abide by the ceasefire. This situation is changing by the second, so who knows where this whole thing will be by morning. But here's what has not changed. Iran's most powerful allies, China and Russia, are sitting back very quietly. We had some reports earlier in the week that mystery planes from China may be shipping aid and munitions to Iran, but this was never confirmed. And then we checked in on Russia, and they not only seem to be giving zero help to Iran in all of this, they only confirmed that Iran, in fact, was on their way to building a nuclear bomb. Russia's Dmitry Medvedev wrote, "The enrichment of nuclear material and nuclear weapons will continue." He adds a vague but unmerited threat that Iran would be given a nuclear bomb anyways by some other countries. I'll tell you right now, even the Russians know that the Iranians are too crazy to be trusted with a nuke. But Russia has to say this. Iran was Russia's proxy boogeyman. But this is about all they'll do. Send out vaguely threatening tweets to assure the world that Iran will remain dangerous. But think about it. I had a guest on last week, Dr. Peter Sletskin, a Russian scholar, geopolitical analyst. He made some excellent points. He told us that chopping Iran off at the knees would not significantly affect Russia in the larger scheme of things.
Iran's fate is not of crucial importance to Russia. If we end up with a failed state in the middle of the Middle East, it's not too far from Russia's borders, right across the Caucasus. That wouldn't be fantastic. But in the immediate term, this isn't too bad for Russia. It distracts the West from Ukraine and forces military resources to be redirected elsewhere. Patriot systems that were once in Kiev are now in Tel Aviv.
But more than this, think about what happens if Iran is no longer able to provide China, its primary sugar daddy, with cheap oil. Who does China have to run to next? Russia. So Russia actually benefits monetarily from Iran losing its ability to supply cheap oil to China. Now let's talk about China. What have they been saying through all this? President Xi has only provided Iran with rhetorical support, and he has, of course, condemned the attacks. Xi has offered Beijing as the moderator to help bring peace to the region, while simultaneously evacuating its citizens from Iran. But no apparent help from Iran has come from China. The true test of how much China and Russia really back Iran will be in the coming weeks and months, and whether they provide humanitarian aid to the Iranian people. Right now, Iran's water supply, its food supply, its core utilities are down. The Iranian people are barreling headfirst into the horizon of famine and suffering, the likes of which they haven't seen in decades. Forget arms and weapons. China and Russia have already shown they're unwilling to fuel this dumpster fire. But if they were truly allies, they would at least send food and water and medicine. But if the regime makes it that long and aid does not come from their best of friends, that will be the moment the Iranian regime will be the most suicidal. The moment they realize that their number one and number two supporters in the entire world, China and Russia, are in fact not in their corner.
Interesting. Interesting take. Sorry, that was very low in sound. Hey, MRH and MRE, how you going, guys? Good to see ya. And George. Okay, David Atherton said an excellent piece from Adam Brooks at Essex PR. We're importing rapist sex cases and pedos. Enough is enough. He explores the relationship between immigration and crime. especially SAs, sexual assaults. He says, close the hotels, deport the offender. The image is of failed asylum seeker, Patrick, oh my goodness, Mosqui Kanda, jailed for, not a 6-year-old, millstones. Millstones around their neck, throw them in the ocean. Sorry. We need to bring capital punishment back. Here in Australia anyway, I believe, for when this, comes out. Okay, just wanted to touch on this one. Shadow of Ezra said Sean Diddy Combs told the judge in his case that he believes he's doing an excellent job according to newly released court transcripts. The judge, Arun Subramanian, was appointed by Joe Biden. This comes as prosecutors move to drop major charges against Diddy, including theories of attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking. Okay, one of the prosecutors is Comey's daughter, James Comey's daughter. I am not surprised. I'm not surprised when James Comey's daughter is one of the prosecutors. Anyway, that's just me. Gigabay's dad said, excellent point. In many churches today, it's considered worse to judge evil than to do evil. Which it actually is. Hey, Joanne. I can't see you yet, but I'm sure one of your comments will pop up sooner or later. I've got it on live chat too, so I don't know why I can't see certain comments or certain people. Lord Talbot said, excellent news. The British Patriot, breaking Labor MPs are being warned that a major rebellion on the welfare reform bill next week could trigger a general election. Keir Starmer's days are numbered. Let's hope so for the UK. Okay, Australians versus the agenda. Opposition leader Susan Leahy said parents need government to protect their children from the dangers of social media. Moments after opening her speech by saying the Liberal Party is at its best when government is better, not bigger. Oh, so she's contradicting herself. Okay, thank you. Millennial Woes said a good woman bully. Oh, look, this is an appeal to your emotions, okay? Let me read this first and I'll tell you what happened. Millennial Woes said a good woman bullied to suicide by online scum. I've long advised that people in these situations let someone else, a trusted friend, handle their social media so they don't see all the BS. What an awful waste of good human life. Dexerto said YouTuber and founder of Save a Fox Rescue, Michaela Rains, has died at age 31. She took her own life. They say due to online harassment. Okay. Apparently she already had mental illness. Apparently it was in her private life and other companies against her, and it wasn't necessarily online harassment. Yeah, I be very careful of things like this, guys, because seriously, she didn't, it wasn't, this is propaganda for censorship. That's what I see, okay? This is propaganda for censorship, and I'm not going to like it. I'm going to remove it. Erica, a politician generally cannot block someone on X or any social media platform using an official government account if the account is used for government business, as this may violate the First Amendment. Geez, I wish we had one. The Supreme Court has clarified that if a public official, one, has actual authority to speak on behalf of the state, and two, purports to exercise that authority on the account, their actions like blocking users based on viewpoints are subject to First Amendment scrutiny. Official accounts used as a public forum for a government announcement or constituent interaction must allow access, and blocking someone due to their opinions is likely unconstitutional. Heads up, Rep Thomas Massey. Compliments of Grok. Morgan Victoria said the feminine urge to delete social media, move to a remote area and throw away my phone. Oh, yeah. Aren't we feeling that one? But I'm not going to give up. Because I can't. Because the truth is driving me. I meme, therefore I am, said model Emily, another name I can't pronounce, just endorsed a socialist to her millions of followers on multiple social media platforms. This Emily Ratajkowski? Okay, she's promoting this Muslim mayor for New York. God help New York if he gets in. You're going to have Sharia law. And you know, you LGBTQ people, yeah, you'll probably get thrown off the top of a building. What's the highest building in New York? It's not going to be good. Thriller the Gorilla said nobody supports you like social media friends you've never met. And I just want to say that I put this in there because of you guys. Because you actually support me more than people I know. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hello Rod as well. How you going? Anyone I've missed as well? Okay. David Nino Rodriguez said Jews are being told to evacuate New York City and posting this all over social media. Last time this happened was 9/11. Be careful, New York. Just eyes open, heads on a swivel. David Atherton said Labor's Zara Sultana is pro-Palestine PAL action. The Home Office is investigating that they are being funded by Iran. If that's the case, you should be tried for treason. You have no business being in my country, you traitor. And I believe this is in the UK. Zara Sultana MP said, we are all Palestine action. Oh, okay, are you? You just told us. Okay, thank you. They expose themselves. He was voted in as New York mayor. Oh, dear God. There you go. Ah, poor New York. Poor New Yorkers, sorry. The conservative side of it. John Ruddick said just spoke up in support of acclaimed journalist Mary Kostakidis. Mary's been hauled before court over social media posts. She's fallen afoul of the notorious 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act. Google it's appalling. Cruelty like this does not happen in the US because of the First Amendment. We need it in Australia. Yes, thank you. This lady, she's an acclaimed journalist, but she's been hauled before court for posting on social media. That's how bad things are getting in Australia. Same as UK, probably Canada too. Oh, we are awful. I imagine if the UK or England, hang on. Okay, just choked. Okay, it's okay. Imagine if the UK, Canada, or London, Canada, and Australia become states of the United States. I've got a cough again. Sorry, guys. Okay, hopefully that's better. Hey, go, Michelle App. Good to see ya. Okay, retards down. Yeah, I was thinking of what if our countries, or maybe even the UK itself, become states of the United States. What are those 55 stars doing on the flag? Okay, retards down under said things in Australia that are more dangerous than social media but aren't banned. Drag story time, the Greens, and certain procedures. Those procedures, you know. Okay. Yeah, and they're not banned. Peter Sweden said Britain literally sent a mother to 31 months in prison for an offensive social media post that she apologised for and deleted almost immediately. Now it's reported she's been treated badly and bruised by prison staff. Something went wrong. Try liking it in a minute. Okay. I'll go back to that one to try and like it in a minute. Yeah. I can see Australia doing the same thing. Because we live here, said, integration ended the front porch. Smart white people now spend tens of thousands of dollars to have the most spacious backyards to show off to friends and family on social media. Privacy from the, what? Black and brown paws. You don't want to invite over for date. What did I bookmark this by mistake? Oh, no, this one. I wanted this one. Dave, the shrinking of the front porch is just as tragic but as rarely talked about as the erasure of third places. Front porch nationalism. Oh, my God. Look at the size of these porches, verandas we call them here in Australia. Mine is like probably that wide and very short. I would love a big veranda. Porch. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Lady Stardust. Good to see you. Yeah, some of these are just like, they're not really news, but, you know, chuck them in there just to have something different to talk about, I suppose. MJ Truth Ultra said when 9/11 occurred, social media did not exist. At best, there were only low-key web chats at the time. We did not have smartphones, and mobile phones generally did not have video recording capabilities. We're learning so many things decades later because of the internet and us sharing information. What's so mind-blowing is the cognitive dissonance involved. To imagine that so many agencies and people within our own government were in on it is so surreal. The US government, in coordination with foreign governments, played a role in one of the most devastating attacks on American soil to justify invading and occupying Middle Eastern countries. This also led to widespread acceptance of the measures like the Patriot Act, which enabled significant government overreach, and the further erosion of freedom in America. Sometimes I wonder how devastating it would be if the truth were ever fully disclosed. Can the public handle it? The nuclear fallout of such news would rock this nation to its core. It needs to be said, though. We need the truth. Maybe it's just me. Sorry, that's trees being cut down next door in the background. I didn't realise they were just about to start when I started streaming. And Sherry, did I say hello to Sherry? How you going? Brendan Dilly said, if it's true that Thomas Massey is dating Christina Pushaw, plastic-faced DeSantis social media staffer, then his inorganic Eastern European bot farm support makes a whole hell of a lot more sense. It didn't work for DeSantis, it won't work for Massey. Yeah, because you've got all these people saying, I stand with Thomas Massey. Oh no, my little heater's run out of Kero. Data Republicans said I received the following email from Code Pink. So I decided to share it because they did this. We are writing to formally address and correct the false and defamatory statements made in your recent social media post regarding Code Pink. These claims, which falsely allege that our organisation is funded by China, the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, or any foreign government or entity, are entirely baseless and constitute libel. So I will share the facts without spin. Per Wikipedia, Code Pink is 25% funded by Neville Singham, who is living in Shanghai and got rich off spreading CCP propaganda, and is under investigation by Congress for FARA violations. Code Pink is running a campaign called China is Not Our Enemy, which promotes pro-China messaging, including denial of the Uyghur genocide, an atrocity affirmed by the US Department of State. The founder of Code Pink, Jodie Evans, is married to the aforementioned Neville Singham. In fact, the Uyghur denialism goes so far that Jodie Evans said in a YouTube interview that Uyghurs are terrorists trained in Yemen and Syria who bomb shopping centres. Oh dear. So whatever Code Pink is, could be, not saying they are, but could be, CCP propagandists. Okay, Shadow of Ezra has shared this. Candace Owens says she's been tipped off that social media influencers are being paid to promote anti-Candace Owens and anti-Tucker Carlson content. Really? I'm not. She's now offering a $10,000 bounty to anyone who can provide solid proof of the operation. Yeah, it'll never happen. Let's have a listen to Candace Owens talk BS for a minute or less. Yeah, a minute.
That somebody reached out to me, someone that I trust very much, and said, Candace, just want you to know, we're on opposite sides of this thing, but there's money behind this pro-Israel movement. Billionaires and Israeli billionaires reached out, asked so-and-so to make a video that is pro-Israel. And then an influencer reached out and said that people are being offered money to make anti-Candace and anti-Tucker videos, up to $1,000 for a micro influencer. That's a lot of money. This person has got to have a lot of money, whoever's behind this. And so today we did something because we're so interested is we put a bounty out, $10,000 for an influencer that got paid, a micro influencer. Don't care if you're micro. You email tips@CandaceOwens.com and show us the concrete email of who paid you to make a video about me and Tucker and to say that we must be funded by Qatar, because that's the disinformation campaign that's happening right now. And we'll give you $10K, no questions asked. I don't care if you already made the video. We will not ever reveal your name. You can go on and live your life. Okay. Promise that. That somebody reached out to me, someone that
Okay, well, yeah, no. I don't think she's going to ever get proof of it. And I didn't say she was paid by Qatar. Yeah. But maybe I'm not big enough of an influencer. Yeah, pink could also refer to the adreno, yeah. Menacing. The British Patriot said, breaking British citizens taken to social media to declare their decision to boycott Uber Eats, Deliveroo and Just Eat. This follows after these companies have been hiring illegal immigrants. Will you join the movement and stop financially supporting these businesses? That's for people in Britain, UK. I don't even know what to call it anymore. Jesus. Cat A said the move to ban YouTube by Julie Inman Grant now has many more realising the power trip at play. Whilst child psychologist Claire Rowe here understands the danger of social media, she's not a supporter. Noting if we're going to ban YouTube, they might as well just ban the internet altogether. Is it democracy to ban public information sites? Karen is out of control and someone needs to rein her in. Mr. Trump, can you come and pick this lady up and lock her up? I don't know. She's a traitor to the US. She is trying to destroy Australia at the moment. Okay. Oh, yeah, tranny singer Pink. Yep. An Aerosmith song about adreno. There you go. So pretty much we get what she's saying. She's not for this. This is a child psychologist. Okay, and they're scared. Look, they're scared that young people are going to jump down the rabbit holes. That's what they've said it. Illuminati bot said Operation Mockingbird is still alive and well. It just expanded social media. Be careful who you follow. Be careful, as always. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. Hang on a sec. Yeah, be careful who you follow and do your own research and use discernment as well. Okay, use your own discernment. Don't believe anything you hear, including even what I say, until you've done your own research and you can back it up. Because a lot of this is alleged anyway. I'm kidding. Okay, and back to Susan Ley, who's not much different than the Karen. Stephen says, Susan Ley is advocating for social media laws. Sorry, Susie, my kids already have capable parents, thanks. Yeah, see? So parents, not up to the government. Take responsibility. Eva Dingerbrook. In a nationwide raid, 170 German citizens had their houses searched and their devices confiscated this morning, and I'm going to cough. Why? Because they posted social media posts containing hate speech or because they insulted a politician. Germany's a full-blown police state. Are we at the precipice yet? Because only at the precipice will people find the will to change. And you can't tell the people, you've got to show them. And all of that comes from over here. When I say that, that's where it comes from. And it's true. Oh, shit, wrong one. Leilani Dowding said no jail, but Lucy Connolly went away for 31 months for a social media post. Tell me what the hell's going on. Community service for a GP who had 200 child abuse images, and yet someone gets locked away for 31 months for hurty words. Oh dear. Yeah, the law's upside down. Everything's been turned upside down. So what was good is now bad, what is bad is now good. And, yeah, you'll get locked up for hurty words, but for having child abuse images and 200 of them and being a GP, oh, no, you only get a, community service. Don't worry about it. Crazy. Donald Trump Jr. said New York City has fallen. Michael Malice said I'm old enough to remember when New Yorkers endured 9/11 instead of voting for it. Interesting. 40 Heads said methinks it's not a coincidence that Bibi Netanyahu suffered an unfair politically motivated attack against him that included criminal charges at the same time Donald Trump was suffering a similar set of attacks. The picture Trump is painting. Okay, now I have a theory about this, but anyway, let's read this. Breaking news. I was shocked to hear the state of Israel, which just had one of its greatest moments in history, is strongly led by Bibi Netanyahu, is continuing its ridiculous witch hunt against their great wartime Prime Minister. Bibi and I just went through hell together fighting a very tough and brilliant long-time enemy of Israel, Iran, and Bibi could not have been better, sharper or stronger in his love for the incredible Holy Land. Anyone else would have suffered losses, embarrassment and chaos. Bibi Netanyahu was a warrior, like perhaps no other warrior in the history of Israel, and the result was something that nobody thought was possible. A complete elimination of potentially one of the biggest and most powerful nuclear weapons anywhere in the world, and it was going to happen soon. We were fighting literally for the survival of Israel, and there's nobody in Israel's history that fought harder or more competently than Bibi Netanyahu. Despite all of this, I just learned that Bibi has been summoned to court on Monday for the continuation of this long-running. He's been going through this horror show since May of 2020, unheard of. This is the first time a sitting Israeli Prime Minister has ever been on trial, politically motivated case concerning cigars, a bunny doll and numerous other unfair charges, in order to do him great harm. Such a witch hunt for a man who's given so much is unthinkable to me. He deserves much better than this, and so does the state of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu's trial should be cancelled immediately or a pardon given to a great hero who's done so much for the state. Perhaps there is no one that I know who could have worked in better harmony with the President of the United States, me, than Bibi Netanyahu. It was the United States of America that saved Israel, and now it's going to be the United States of America that saves Bibi Netanyahu. This travesty of justice cannot be allowed. Right. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, that Israel has been used for many years as a scapegoat on a lot of things. Okay, by those who say they are Jews but are not. And I believe Trump, what was I going to say? Trump knows what he's doing anyway, right, for a start. But, yeah, I've heard this so many times that Israel is a scapegoat. So we'll see what happens. But I had something else to say, and now I've forgotten. It's just gone straight out of my head. Oh, no. I'll think of it in a minute. Maybe. MAGA Voice said, breaking, CNN is now forced to say the stock market is at record highs, calling it impressive and remarkable. Donald Trump deserves a million thank yous. I love this. So CNN has now been forced to say that the stock market is at record highs, and they're calling it impressive. More on Starmer. The Yorkshire lass said Starmer looked very uncomfortable standing next to Donald Trump today. To be honest, I'd be shitting myself with over 120 out of 403 Labor MPs now rebelling against the fake PM. Starmer's on borrowed time and he knows it. Look at him. Looks very, very uncomfortable right there. Okay, American AF say Liberal man blames Donald Trump's strikes on Iran for getting fired from his job. How does that work, mate? Let's have a listen.
It's fucking time. It's fucking time. I'm sick and fucking tired of constantly putting in blood, sweat, and tears to a shithole fucking place that I have to work for so I can earn enough money just to exist in this godforsaken capitalistic fucking hellhole. And then I get fired from the place because I try to communicate to a constantly management team that consistently miscommunicates and leads to frustrations that led to me being overwhelmed, which caused me to be overly passionate and frustrated. For me to get fired because a dumb blonde cunt can't fucking notice her left ass cheek from her fucking forehead, so I'm constantly having to worry about that fucking shit, while Donald Trump just continuously bombs whatever fucking country he wants to as a fucking felon, and nobody fucking does anything about it, but God forbid I stand the fuck up and try to do something to stand up for myself in this shithole fucking country. Oh, I fucking hate this fucking place. It's fucking time.
I can see why he got fired, mate. Yep, I can see why he got fired. Couldn't control himself. Mega Voice said breaking Donald Trump exposed Democrats wanting to elect Zohran Mamdani to New York City mayor. Rest in peace, New York City. Donald J. Trump said it's finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zohran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary and is on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible, his voice is grating, he's not very smart, he's got AOC +3, dummies all backing him, and even our great Palestinian Senator crying Chuck Schumer is grovelling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. Oh dear. And I think the rest are pretty much Donald Trump posting on Truth Social. Donald J. Trump said we just caught the failing New York Times working with fake news CNN cheating again. They tried to demean the great work our B-2 pilots did, and they were wrong in doing so. These reporters are just bad and sick people. You would think they would be proud of the greatest success we had instead of trying to always make our country look bad. Total obliteration. There you go. Yeah, they've been trying to say that, no, they've still got their nuclear power. No, it didn't work. No. Yes, it did. He's just stopped them all in their tracks. Inevitable West said breaking Geert Wilders met with Donald Trump today ahead of the Dutch elections in October. This is massive. Netherlands are going to take their country back. Go the Netherlands. Tim Sharp said a Republican state senator in Georgia attempted to investigate Fani Willis and her lawfare against Donald Trump. He was stopped by Republicans. Let that sink in. So he was going to hold it to account, but some Republicans stopped him. Okay, the White House, Daddy's home. Hey, 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 Daddy. I don't know what song that's from. The only one Daddy's home that I know of is Cliff Richard. President Donald J. Trump attended the NATO summit in The Hague, Netherlands. Yeah, and he got called Daddy. Daddy Trump. Stevens said, should Australia be giving long-term family visas to parents of international students? Hell no. Hell no. I don't care. But no. Oz Integrity said when government considers itself above the law, it's time to remove government. Listen, as New South Wales Labor Premier Chris Minns expresses his disappointment that laws apply to his staff. It's time Australia got serious. Government and the bureaucracy are not there to help you. Let's just have a listen to this BS.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm disappointed about the circumstances that have led to my staff in a punitive manner, and don't take my word for it. Listen to the chair of the committee who said the reason they're being called is because I won't appear before the committee. So in a punitive way, pulling in staffers to this upper house inquiry. I think that the very troubling information that staff would be arrested and held potentially overnight via police custody is a massive overreach, and obviously staff...
Well, if it's a massive overreach to you, mate, how do you think the general public feels, you moron?
have to make their own minds up about these decisions. They're the ones who the warrant is targeted to. We want to make sure we're offering them support. I'm offering them support as an employer. But I think it's a troubling precedent for New South Wales, and I think that the members of the committee have put... Effectively, they're unleashing the extraordinary powers of police or the courts or the judiciary in the service of a star chamber.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear that properly, but it pretty much just wants his employees to be free from the law, okay? And Wokeness said New York's next mayor is a radical Muslim socialist from Africa who got citizenship only 7 years ago. New York is forked. And I think that's about it. So there you go. There we go. How far back can I go? Oh, out to lunch said X News isn't what it seems to mean, I figure. I should have left it as it was, actually, out to lunch. You know why? So I should write the X-Files World News Update. A bit of clickbait. Alex, how you going? And Deb, out to lunch. Carl, Lucette. You hope you can make it through the whole show tonight. I won't be on here for long. I have an appointment at 11. But, yeah, I'll be here for a little bit. Shannon said, g'day from the Riverlands, South Australia. Shannon said, got offered permanent position at work today. Yay, Shannon. God love you. You deserve it, mate, seriously. Alex said, this week's flown by. Time is going faster and faster. Yep. And Deb said, where's your snow, Hev? I'm hoping we get some. Like, honestly, I wanted to thank Jim too. I think it was Jim anyway, who donated via Stripe. So thank you, Jim, you legend. Thank you. Yeah, it went around us. I'm waiting for snow, and like we've had minus degrees now overnight, so we're going into the minuses. Because we've got a very cold patch just sitting over the top of us at the moment, but it's like, well, it was sunny this morning, now it's cloudy. I've got to have a sip of my tea again. And I might have to cough. Hang on a sec, guys, I'll mute the mic. Okay. Where am I? Alex said, allegedly innocent. Deb said, just awesome. Sorry, guys. I should sniff off. Hang on. Oh. Dear God. Hey, Alex said, allegedly innocent. Alex said, I'm really happy for you, Hev. That's wonderful news. Yes. That was excellent. It covered like the wood and a water bill. So that was fantastic. Carl wants to know what I saw on X. Do you really? Do you really? I don't know if I can say it without throwing up. Carl, to be honest. It involved a male's rear end. It involved a lady. It involved some, oh my God, her head and his rear end. And something was coming out of his rear end and she was, okay, I don't need to, yeah, out to lunch, exactly. If anyone wants to know what it's about, out to lunch has got it in the comments, okay? I don't want to say it. I can't. I had to block it. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. Alex said, ooh, how do they even allow that muck on Twitter? I'd love to know. Deb said, I don't have Twitter X thing. Do Do it so helpful for me when you source the news for us. Yes. Yeah, let me do it, because seriously, no one needs to see that. Alex said, I never tweet on it. I just have it so I can see what's going on. It's like the town square with real people sharing information most of the time, Deb. Yeah, I've been blocking them for ages. I don't know how many there are on there, but I try and block them. Lucette said, Real Raw News reported a group of US Navy SEALs broke into CERN to destroy but disappeared without a trace. No shots fired. Mysterious. Ooh. Shannon said, because CERN is a port to hell. Alex said, how condescending. They don't want under 16s to have social media, but they don't mind trafficking them to go through the most horrific crimes imaginable. Maybe they don't want them to speak out. That too. But they already stated in an article here in Australia that they were doing it because they don't want young people jumping down rabbit holes and finding out what's going on. Because they want to be able to brainwash those young people, you know? I still can't remember what it was I was going to say about Israel. I'll try and think of it before tomorrow, guys. Lucette said, Shannon, exactly. Alex said, look at how all the rape gang stuff went. Told to shut up and put up. Disgusting, exactly. Yep, portal. Okay. Portal to hell. Lucette said, the placement of the microphone makes Ursula von der Leyen look like Hitler. Lol. Oh, there's Joanne. Look, I can see you on here. I couldn't see you on the other, like Streamlabs site that I've got up on the side. And Menacing Muskrat, hello. How you going? Out to Lunch said, Russia is the threat they make so they can respond, right? Well, yeah, Russia is the threat they make so they can respond. How many people think Israel is the same? They're boogeymen. North Korea. There are corrupt people in Israel. I'm not denying that. Sorry, guys. I should have muted. Okay. Yeah, so out to lunch, it's, you know, because not every conspiracy theory is true. Not every single one of them. There are some that the left throw in there so to confuse people. You know, it's called control opposition, you know. So we don't know that Israel's not being used like that either. That's just me. Alex said, yeah, don't they have that strange magnetic cube thing there too, or is that the United Nations, Shannon? Yeah, hi, Joanne. I saw you there, yep. Alex said, Lego Man Starmer. Shannon said, Muppets. Menacing Muskrat's asking Shannon how socks is and saying, you rock, Shannon. Alex said, it's a takeover been happening in the UK for the last decade. NYC's just next on the list. Alex said he'd probably get all the votes too from all the imports. Lucette said Trump wasn't put in power by billionaires. He used his own money. Alex said, good effort, Hev. Oh, was that reading that Laverne Spicer? I don't know. I know that. Like, I've heard of that lady since I was young. Laverne Spicer. I remember hearing her name, like, yeah, over the years. Thank you, Alex. Although it's an Australian accent, it doesn't sound the same as when an American lady says it. Shannon said, Trump doesn't even take a wage. He donates it to charity, exactly. And MRE dropped in to say hi. Appreciate that, MRE. And George is here. And MRH is here. And Lucette said, talking of nuclear weapons, the ETs deactivated all nuclear weapons 10 years ago. There won't be a nuclear war. Okay, where are we? Yeah, Alex, MRH and MRE. Yep. They're close. Menacing Muskrat said Millstone. Exactly. Menacing Muskrat. Alex said the world's become so depraved. They are babies just starting out in life now, scarred forever. These monsters will pay for their crimes. Exactly. Because it does scar you forever. That type of shit. Shannon said, no, they're just dropping the attempted party. Actually did all those things. Yep. Oh, George couldn't see Joanne either. Okay, I can see her on YouTube. It was just on Streamlabs I couldn't see her. I don't know why Streamlabs wants to pick and choose what I'm seeing. Deb said, yes, Alex, I'll do it every time. Rod, how you going? Shannon said, what does the fox say? George said, I watched Save a Fox. Yeah, I still RIP to the lady, but she didn't die from online bullying. It's being used as propaganda. Okay, it was in her real life that she had the most problems. She had mental problems anyway. But RIP to her anyway, but, you know. Shannon said, I smell BS, there's treachery afoot. Exactly. And I put it in there so I could show you how they appeal to your emotions, you know, to get an agenda like happening, to get a narrative happening, to then put that agenda in motion, you know. Alex said, oh, really? If that's true, that's really sad. But they use stories like that and they twist it. Deb said, we can only hope. Lucette said, Hev, the Muslim guy was voted in as New York mayor. Oh, no. Oh, how you going, Pat? Pat said, love you. You too, Pat. Shannon said, when the movie stars all endorse him, you know he's dodgy. Yes. Joanne said, thank you. If we didn't have you sharing, we'd feel alone. Cheat, sis. Oh, God love you. Oh, cheers, sis. Yep. God love you. Yeah, Alex has asked, did he already win? Lucette said, yes, he won. Oh, dear God. Michelle Ebb's here. George said, London has a Muslim mayor and London has become a dangerous city. Well, I think already a lot of businesses are leaving New York. Okay, I think it's going to fall. New York's going to fall. Deb said, hello, our beautiful Pat is in the house. Joanne said, they're playing with my computer again. Telstar doing shit in the area. Oh, really? Why am I getting messages? What's going on? Okay, just checking to make sure. Oh, they're updating the mobile network in my area on the 36th and the 8th. Oh, it's just my mobile that might experience difficulties? Okay, thank you. Dear me. Yeah, Joette, well, they're going to play with my mobile reception here shortly. That's not good. I hate when they do stuff like that. Telstar, I've never heard of it. Alex said it's happening everywhere, and or Telstra, you mean? Sorry, Telstra? Alex said it's happening everywhere, and I believe it's been planned for the takeover. Rod said, had this conversation 3 times today alone. Gays for Palestine. Think about what you're saying. Exactly. Alex said, loads of our cities, George, are now dangerous places. Hey, Sherry, Lady Stardust. Lady Stardust said, 5 eyes being exposed. Alex said, I know what you mean. I'm glad we all have each other. Our Hev families definitely helped me keep going through this madness, Joanne. God love yous. I'm glad I'm here to, if I can help in any way, I am glad. George said, hi, Sherry, Lady Stardust and Michelle. Shannon said the only theme song for gays, for Palestine, should be, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running off that rooftop to the floor. Okay, that's enough, Hev. Oh, dear. Okay, Rod said, Shannon, just not much thought behind it. Yeah. Alex said that porch the size of my whole flat. Yeah, it's nearly the size of my whole front of my house. My house is not really any big. Well, some flats are bigger than my houses, Alex. Some units, apartments, whatever you call them, are bigger than my house. I've got a tiny house on a big block. It's fine by me. Deb said, I love the old villa we lived in when I was younger. The veranda goes around the house. Oh. Yeah, Deb, you don't even get an eave now. You don't even get eaves. Some people don't even have verandas. Okay, I don't have one at the back at all. So I walk out the back door. If it's raining, you get wet. But the front one is like if I stand with both my arms out to the sides, like straight out, that's probably bigger than my veranda, actually. Wider, you know, and then it's only like 5 steps and then the stairs. So, yeah, it's not very big. And when the wind and when the rain and wind comes, you know, comes in sideways, you get wet, even if you're standing on the veranda. So you can't put any furniture out there. George said, I have a decent-sized balcony, lol. Oh, good on you, George. Shannon said, just like there wasn't much thought into letting so many Muslims in, what rights do infidels have in their eyes? None. Yep, George, infidels have no rights. Alex said, how come your neighbours can chop trees but you're not allowed to, even though they're dangerous? Oh, no, trimming. They're trimming trees. You're allowed to do that if it's over your house or stuff like that. You're just not allowed to take them down. Deb said, tongue twister, Hev. Finger on the blackboard. Menacing Muskrat, yeah, was talking about the Drino. Pink referring to the Drino. Alex said they don't need people to make videos to show people how corrupt Candace is. She's shown people herself. Yeah, well, I'd like to know where my pay is. I'm not getting paid, but I still have questions, okay, about what she said the last few days and then what's happened. Because, like, it's just disappointing. Because I followed her, I listened to her as well. And then you hear that and it's sort of, you go, oh, I don't know. Holy shit. But I thought that a while ago was something else she was doing too, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Aerosmith's song Pink is about that as well, the Drino. Lucette says, someone asked Candace who was paying her. Ah. Shannon said, as does the tranny singer Pink. Alex said, I wouldn't use any of those Uber Eats, said her anyway, you never know what's happened to the food. George said, I stopped eating Just Eat 2 years ago. Alex said, I would rather make my own fake away with fresh ingredients, exactly. Deb said, it's all for entertainment purposes only. Shannon said, you are free TV. George said, the UK is forked. Lucette said, have you treat your cough by rubbing Vicks Vapor Rub on your feet, then put socks on, works every time. I have to go up and buy some. Shannon said, Bill Gates just blamed the gardener. Alex said, can't believe that was a year ago. Next month's Southport killings of those poor little children. Yeah, that's terrible. Deb said, yes, it helps, Lucette. Alex said, I know, going more and more down the shitter by the day, George. Lucette said, yes, Deb, you need to have a really thick layer on your feet and leave it on. Another plus is that it makes your feet really soft. Nice. Oh, yes, I remember that one, the Paul Simon song, Kodachrome. Interesting album cover. Menacing, yep. Shannon said, poor socks, she wouldn't like Vapor Rub. Definitely not. Yeah, and don't touch your privates if you've touched Vicks Vapor Rub. Or Deep Heat or any of them. I've heard some funny stories. Yeah, I was watching something really funny yesterday and it was passive parenting. And people were like, you know, the children were playing up and you know, the mum's going, we don't have that type of behaviour, okay? That's not how you get what you want. And then it goes on for a bit and someone just screams out, get out of the cupboard! The child instantly listens and it's like, oh, see? Not that you swear at your children or anything, but, I mean, sometimes you do. You know, some people might. But just yelling at them was enough to like, oh, you just watch the kids' reactions. It was quite funny, sorry. Hey, I've got to watch some funny stuff sometimes, especially after seeing what I saw on Twitter yesterday. You know, you've got to go and watch something innocent and funny and, you know, silly and, God, to get things out of your head, I'm telling you. George said, Trump does not trust Starmer. I don't blame him. Menacing Muskrat says, Socks has a cold, Shannon. Shannon said, although it's most temporary of the burning sensations one can get down there. Oh, Shannon. Deb said, yes, I was thinking the same thing. Lucette said, Shannon, and don't get it in your eyes either. That would kill. If you got a burning sensation down below, you have something wrong, go to the doctor, please. Deb said, man has no control. Yeah, the man has no self-control. I can see why he was fired. Because he probably was standing at work doing the same thing as he just did on video. Menacing Muskrat said, too many boosters, poor guy, and this is just the beginning. Alex said, I really don't like Starmer, but I couldn't bear it if Sadiq Khan took over. That would really be the end. Look what he's done to London. Yeah, imagine that in the whole place. Shannon said, kind of looking at Democrat chicks. George said, Geert has the same hairstyle as Trump. Alex said, menacing Muskrat boosted up to the eyeballs. Where am I up to? Okay, around here. Lucette said, be right back, need a sandwich to stop my stomach rumbling. Forgot to have tea this evening. Joanne said, his staff is going to talk and he's in trouble. Yep. Shannon said, Fritz sandwich. Deb said, just thinking about the same thing. I might make pancakes with bacon. Yum. George said, bacon sandwich. Oh, yum, they're beautiful. Deb said, we have Fritz sandwiches this week. It's been a while. Menacing Muskrat said, I love this video with little Greta and POTUS. Shannon said, making bacon pancakes. And Deb's just put all these things up for Shannon. Out to lunch said, Hev snow is going up Elbo's nose. I think so. Jim said, glad to help, Hev. Wish I could send much, much more. That's fine, Jim, honestly. Every little bit helps, and I do appreciate it. And you're a legend, as along with everyone else. Menacing Muskrat, Tim Eyre, Shannon, Deb, everyone. Oh, Menacing Muskrat said, 17 seconds long too. Deb said, I have spelt flour so I can have pancakes. Alex said, congratulations, Shannon. Sorry I missed that comment the first time. Yes, out to lunch. You were right. That's exactly what it was, and it was disgusting, and I don't ever want to see that again. Shannon said, boo, I hate it there, but a job's a job, I guess. Oh, okay. Alex said, ooh, that sounds like something Shatwood would do. Yes, exactly. Jim said, oh, no biggie, Alex, but thanks. George says, Starmer likes coke up his nose while getting his rear end smashed by rent boys. Yeah, it seems like, there's a lot of that going around. Alex said, I think a lot of young people are quite switched on. The powers that be really don't like it. That's what I think too. Deb said, thank you, Shannon. I didn't have to listen to what Hev saw. Menacing Muskrat said, the satanic movie called The Give, and they do that poop ritual on there. She had to eat it off a plate, sick. Yeah. No, this was straight, like, it doesn't matter which way you're going to look at it. No. Oh, for God's sake. I just can't. Out to lunch said, lol, I'm psychic. Well, thank God, because I didn't want to say it, man. I don't even want to say it. It's going to make me throw up. Alex said they can't brainwash as many folk as they used to back in the day when people only had radio or 4 channels. Exactly. Lucette said, and a nice jam sandwich, that should keep me going. Shannon saw the Hitler mic as well. Deb said, yes, misinformation. Menacing Muskrat said, 7 times keyboard refers to Israel, and Israel is last. Yes. Shannon said, where do you jam a sandwich to make it? I nearly did it, Shannon. Alex said, George, I really didn't want that thought, but it's true. So many sick people at the top. Lucette said, Shannon laughed my ass off. Out to lunch said, somewhere so a chick can eat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, she was doing it straight from the source, I don't need to see this shit. Literally, I don't need to see the shit. Alex said, yes, reading the American with the Aussie accent. Deb said, peanut butter and jelly. I used to make real jelly with my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I didn't know it was jam. Yeah. Shannon said, aeroplane jelly. Deb said, I did the same thing, Alex, getting them confused. Alex said, do you have live chat on, George? I'm not even going to read that one. Joanne said, they're playing with my mouse. Sorry, guys. That's okay, Joanne. Out to lunch said, there's no bots on here, right? Yeah, I hope not. Otherwise, I'm talking to bots. No, I don't think he's a bots. Lucette said, has my jam sandwich set you all off with double entendres, lol? Alex said, I think that sometimes, like the mouse, sometimes has a life of its own. Normally, batteries are going flat if the mouse is doing weird things. Unless it's plugged in, then you got a problem. Yeah, I might be AI out to lunch. I might be a bot. But if I was a bot, would I be coughing so damn much? Okay, anyway. Alex said, I think that's sometimes like the mouse has a lot. Yeah, that's normally if the batteries are running low in your mouse, or if it's plugged in, then you've got a bigger problem. Deb said, yes, everything is about using our emotions, energy, still louche. Alex said, live chat shows all comments, top chat only shows some. Yeah, except if you're on my Streamlabs, because even live chat only shows some of them. Shannon said, Lucian jelly sandwich. Oh, no, thank you. I don't need to feed off other people's fear. Joanne said, that's what they said to me last week. Oh, really? Alex said, at least they let you know, Hev, that they still keep putting that emergency alarm thing on my phone, and I have to keep turning it off. Menacing Muskrat said, Hev, you might be upgrading to the new EBS. Shannon said, Hev got all excited thinking I sent her the other half of my wage. Oh, what? Was that half of your weekly wage, Shannon? Oh, my God. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, my God, I don't even know what to say. Out to lunch said, jelly louche sandwich. Deb said, so did you film the wood getting piled up? No, I haven't stacked it yet, Deb. No, it's sitting out there in a big pile on the ground. Like, he came right after I made yesterday's video too, so, like, before 9 o'clock, so... And they're in a tipper truck, and they just tip the truck, and the wood falls out, and they collect the money, and they go. It isn't really that long. So I really could have gone live yesterday, but I may have had to step away right at the beginning for a minute or two. Alex said, isn't that an R. Kelly song, the Fly song? R. Kelly, no. I believe I can fly. Who sung it? I don't know. Can't remember. Lisette said, Shannon, you're a diamond for doing that. Yeah. Alex said, oh, I'd love that, a small house with loads of land. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have loads of land. It's just a bigger block than... Like, it's like the double size, the block of everyone else here. Shannon said, how much wood could a Hev chuck if a Hev chick could chuck wood? Could cuck wood? What are you doing to me, Shannon? Out to lunch said, love the surround porch, love that style. So do I. Deb said, I have a carport, so I've got a small entrance cover. Menacing Muskrat said, my covered deck going round most of my house, perfect for plants. I love it. Oh, I wish. Deb said, sad we have religion that wants us gone. Shannon said, have no one stopping you from trimming your bush. Yeah, the bushes outside, I always do trim them, Shannon. You know, the trees. And if there's a branch leaning over the driveway, I normally take them off. It's the ones that are bigger that I can't. Shannon said, it's a fire hazard. Shannon said, it's a trap to make Hev say cuck. Just ask me to say cuck, I'll say that. A cuck is a man who watches his woman get speared by another man. I don't want to say it rudely. Okay, out to lunch said, Donna said, hi all. Oh, how you going, Donna? Fred loves Donna and Donna loves Fred. Shannon said, police murder by numbers. Out to lunch said, sometimes daddy has to say bad words. Yes, exactly. Debs, yeah, eggs with HP sauce. Menacing Muskrat said, try Vinyl Cafe, you'll love it, great humour, good morals. Out to lunch said, yeah, it is in the club actions. It is. And it's disgusting and I don't like it. Out to lunch said, how you know I'm a Fed? Careful, undercovers. She's saying hi all. Hev his AI. Deb said, thank God Tim A has not chimed in on that talk of what I saw on... Oh. Deb said, I have the coughing bot. Yeah, I'm a coughing bot. Out to lunch, said, Hev is sentient, shut it down. Joanne said, meant computer, not mouse. Oh, okay. Shannon said, cough-bot? Yeah, cough-bot. Alex said, I accidentally replied to Lucette instead of Joanne about the mouse. Mine is a laptop, so the mouse is on the laptop, yeah. Lucette said, Deb, what would Timur say about that? Would he give out info about having... He might give out info on how eating it is not a great idea, hopefully. Alex said, lovely, Shannon, such a generous man. Yes, definitely. Deb said, bush cutting, yeah. Shrub trimming, okay? How's that? That doesn't make it any better, does it? Deb said, oh, my God. Alex said, I did text Tim to say we were live, but he must be Yeah, sometimes he's just busy. He did say he'll come on sometime this weekend, so I might message him today and about Monday, I think, because tomorrow I'm going live, but then I've got to go and get my little granddaughter. Shannon said, so does Hev, lol. Deb said, I just made bacon egg scramble for Stormy. Menacing Muskrat said, this summer I planted scarlet runner beans around my deck. Beautiful privacy plant. Menacing Muskrat, I'm so jealous. Not jealous, but, I admire that. I really do. I would love to have that. Deb said, or his Starlink. Okay. Alex said, oh, that'd be lovely to have your granddaughter have. Yeah, I haven't had it for a couple of weeks because I had the flu. So tomorrow after the live stream, I've got to go down and get her. I'll have it to Sunday. I won't be on Sunday, my Sunday, which is your Saturday. But I'll be on my Monday, which is your Sunday. And hopefully Timo can join us then. But I'll have to message him. Okay, guys, I'll leave it there and have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.